I'm here today to talk to you about intermittent fasting. This today marks my 1 year journey since I found, that was my husband, his name is Jeff. I'm here today to talk to you because today marks 1 year for me since I started doing some research on intermittent fasting. I started because my youngest son had mentioned that he was going to start fasting, and I wanted to talk him out of it. I thought it was the worst thing that I had ever heard. It goes against everything that the government or the daily nutritional guidelines or anybody has ever told us to do, and I wanted to talk him out of it and tell him how dangerous it was. So I work at a university and I had the day off, so I thought I spent the entire day, Martin Luther King Day last year, 2019, researching about intermittent fasting. And the first video that I stumbled upon was my saving grace. It was by Dr. Jason Fung. How lucky could I possibly get? And it was the leptin and insulin imbalance. And the video is about 1 hour and 37 minutes long. And by the end of the video, I was in tears because I thought, how in the world could it be the opposite of everything that we have ever learned or everything we've ever been told to do? And that the answer couldn't simply be that easy as to close a window of eating time. So I was although I was so confused because while I was skeptical, thank you, honey.
No.
I was skeptical. I was skeptical because everything we had ever been told to diet and exercise and count calories, I had done for 30 years, and it didn't work for me. I just continued to gain weight. And then when I listened to his video, all the questions that I had ever had of why doesn't this work for me were answered. And like I said, I was in tears by the end of the video. And in my heart, I knew that was going to be the answer for me. That day I weighed in at 281.8 to be exact. And the very next day, I got up and I started a fast. And I went nearly a day and a half. And I felt fantastic. But I got scared. And I thought, I'm just gonna eat because I don't know if this is actually healthy and I need to do more research. So I started to eat, and immediately after I ate, I didn't feel nearly as good as when I was fasted. And I was a little disappointed in myself, and so I started doing more research. And when I say I am a researcher by nature, when I research, I will dive in 4, 6, 8 hours a day and read and consume everything that I can from everybody who has anything to say on the topic. And my days were consumed with, am I going to die from intermittent fasting? Those were my questions. And would it work for somebody who's 58 years old? Am I going to kill myself? I had all these fears. But as I said, I had made it about a day and a half and I ate. And I did some research and I thought, no, I can do this. So my next fast, I started and I went 3 days. And I thought, I'm feeling fantastic. But I had a ghrelin, which is a hormone release that Dr. Fung will talk about in this video. And I was hungry and I thought, I got scared again. So I ate. And immediately upon eating, I thought, I don't feel as good when I eat as I do when I'm fasting. So I started another fast and I went 5 days. And again, got scared. Intermittent fasting, when you start to do research on it, when you start to learn about it, it is a scary thing because especially when you're going days without eating, it goes against anything and everything we've ever learned. Which is, small meals, eat multiple times a day, eat protein shakes, and you go to the gym and you come home and you have a protein muscle milk, or, all these things that we had been taught that I was doing, as well as I was going to the gym an hour and a half, 2 hours a day. I was actually teaching classes for a fitness center. And I work in an active duty military office, although I'm not active duty military. I would work out with the office in the morning. So I was doing 2-a-days. I was, running and jogging, and no matter what I did, my weight continued to climb prior to me watching this video, and I had made it all the way up to 281, working out every day and watching what I was eating and doing everything that the experts had told us to do up until that time. So when I watched this video and I jumped right into the intermittent fasting, I thought my mindset was, in the back of my mind I knew it would work, but my mindset was the stubbornness in me, and I am stubborn, I'll admit that. The stubbornness in me kept thinking, it can't be this easy and I'm going to prove it wrong. So when I would break a fast, I didn't eat in the healthy ways that I had in my past, which were the salads and the protein shakes and high quality vegetables and all those things. I broke my fasts in not a smart way, and those fasts were broken with things that I wouldn't allow myself to eat through all of those years that I was gaining weight because of guilt. 2 things that I absolutely love: Cheetos, the crunchy Cheetos, not the fluffy Cheetos, but the crunchy Cheetos. I love cheese. And M&Ms. Mint chocolate M&Ms, the holiday mint chocolate. Absolutely love those things. So I had also stumbled upon a video series called 6 Miles to Supper with Kayla. And Kayla was very successful in eating 1 meal a day and eating anything she wanted in that 1 meal a day. And I thought, I'll try that. So when I would break my fasts, I would break with steak dinners, with going out with the family, and breads that I hadn't allowed myself to eat for so long, and pasta dishes, and my Cheetos and my M&Ms. And it was so bad with the Cheetos and M&Ms that if I knew I was fasting for 3 more days, I would go to the store and I would actually buy the big bag of Cheetos and buy the big bag of M&Ms, and they would be in my house for when I was going to break my fast. And I'm a very social person, so I would try and break my fast with people or dinner parties or our children or birthday parties or whatever. I would try and time my fasts around those events. So I would break open the bag of Cheetos and the bag of M&Ms on the way to these social events and these parties, and I would be like, I could prove this wrong, and I'm not going to lose weight. And funny thing was that I did lose weight. Eating the Cheetos and the M&Ms and the ice cream and going to the buffets and eating as much as I wanted in 1 meal a day when I was not fasting, and then going for long extended period of fasts. The results were this. I started on the day after Martin Luther King Day, which would be tomorrow, would be my 1 year that I actually started. In March, we had a cruise that we went to with our oldest son and his fiance, and my goal to get onto that cruise was I was scared to death to fly and need a seatbelt extender, and I knew that I was going to be embarrassed getting into a seat and having a stewardess tell me that I couldn't have that seat or that I was going to need a seatbelt extender. So when I started, I thought, I want to make it on the plane and just be able to buckle a normal seatbelt. Can I do that? My second goal was, I'm a roller coaster enthusiast with my husband, my children. Cedar Point is not that far from us, and it is a second home for us. We actually work there during part of the season, and I had not been able to ride roller coasters for quite a few years, and that broke my heart because the Steel Vengeance had come out, and I wanted to be able to ride the Steel Vengeance. And I actually sent my husband, and he rode with our younger son and I could not ride, and I was sitting out. And a lot of life I realized I was sitting on the sidelines and I wasn't actively participating in life. But people would ask us to do things and I would say, no, we can't, or we're busy, or, make every excuse that we can because I was too uncomfortable with the way that I was looking. And so I sat on the sidelines a lot. So my first two goals were, my stomach's growling because I'm on day 4 of an extended fast, and I just heard my stomach growl, which that means I'm going to have adrenaline release here. Anyway.
Yeah, cool.
Anyway, my first two goals were to not need a seatbelt extender and to ride the rides at Cedar Point without, any adaptations, whatever, without needing the bigger seats. So, started the day after Martin Luther King Day, and we took the cruise the second week of March. And by the day before we took the cruise, I had lost 30 pounds, and I was ecstatic. I thought, oh my gosh, this is working for me. And in those fasts, the 1.5 day, the 3 day, the 5 day, the 7 day, those were all going on during that time where I was eating and then not, and learning that I felt better fasted than when I refeed. So I hit first day we went on the cruise and I thought, oh my goodness, I weighed in at 251. I've lost 30 pounds. I did not need a seatbelt extender. I was ecstatic. I told myself and my husband, whose name is Jeff, and he's in the room with me because I can talk to him. I talk to him all the time, and I talk his ear off. I will talk your ear off too. I told myself that I was going to allow myself to do anything I wanted on that cruise, to eat whatever I wanted, and I did, and come back and then just go right back into another fast. Enjoyed the cruise, flew home, started more fasting, and I will say I made a 7-day, a 10-day, a 21-day. And that was all through the time period then of March through July. And I will say in June, I hit my low that I had hit in 10 years, which was 205. And I was absolutely ecstatic because I could ride every coaster. I could ride every ride. I took my granddaughter for her 10th birthday and we rode everything. I took her for a week. And I was able to ride absolutely everything with her. I was able to ride the Steel Vengeance with my husband multiple times. I was able to go with people from my workplace, and friends would come in and visit us, and I was able to ride with everybody, and I was absolutely ecstatic. And I thought, at that point, I had hit my goal, right? I had hit the goal where I didn't need the seatbelt extender, and I hit the goal where I could ride the rides at Cedar Point. And I thought, maybe from this point forward, I can maybe do the OMAD, and maybe I can back off the long fasts, and maybe this will work for me. And I'm here today, 6 months later, to tell you that I'm not perfect. It didn't work for me. I do much better when I do extended fasts than when I try an OMAD, or I try and make a window shorter, because I find that I don't do that, and my body, from going from 281 to, I had so much insulin that in my system, so much glucose, that the minute I put anything minute in my system, I release insulin and I'm done losing weight. I stop immediately. So from July to now, I've been playing around, and I've been doing the OMAD, and I've been testing the waters and the theories of, can I have the Cheetos and the M&Ms? Can I have everything that they told me? I've lost 75 pounds. I'm good. Even though my goal weight is 150, I'm like, I can get there maybe doing OMAD. And that's how I spent the last 6 months. And I'm not perfect. I'll say that again. I've gained back some weight. I weighed in today at 222.6, so I've gained some weight back. And that's been bothering me a lot. And I had a phone call last week from my niece, and she had started intermittent fasting, and she made a comment on one of the Facebook groups that I'm on, and I saw her on there, and I called her, and I said, I didn't realize you were intermittent fasting. And she said, well, I'm trying it, and I don't have anybody who supports it. No one. I have no one to rely on. And I said, well, call me anytime. We can get through this together, because I've done a ton of research on it, and I've been somewhat successful. And I was beating myself up, though, because I had gained some weight back. And I found myself saying to her, and I thought, when I was saying it, I thought I really need to make a video and share this, because I found myself saying to her, what if I hadn't spent that whole year trying to prove a system wrong and trying to eat everything and consume everything in my one meals that I hadn't allowed myself in the last 30 years? What if I had eaten healthy like I was in those years that I was gaining weight? And when I say healthy, I mean the vegetables, the healthier carbs, the healthier fats. But what if I, instead of eating Cheetos and ice cream and mint chocolate M&Ms with every fast that I broke, and these huge meals that I actually don't need, I just wanted, what if I get to the point of, I believe in this system. I know it works. I lost 75 pounds eating Cheetos, M&Ms, and ice cream when I ate. And if I could do that, what can I do if I actually stop trying to prove the system false and start trying to work with the system and eat healthier, make wiser choices? So I told myself, today is Martin Luther King Day, year one that I started research. Tomorrow is the day that will mark my 1 year of beginning fasting. So what if this year I concentrate on not eating the Cheetos and M&Ms, and I concentrate more on eating what I need to, eating what I should be eating, and trying to stop saying, okay, I can have that just because I can. That year is behind me, and I am closing the door on that year. Tomorrow starts a new day. Today starts a new day, actually. I am on day 4 of an extended fast and feeling fantastic. Feeling so fantastic. Yesterday I went and jogged for 45 minutes because day 3 I always have this energy surge that is unbelievable. Today I went and water jogged for an hour, feeling fantastic. But I'm no longer hitting the gym every morning because I have to and doing things that I hate. Now I'm going to the gym and I'm water jogging, or I'm dancing, or I'm doing things that I like to do, because as long as I'm active, I don't feel like I need to have 2 hours in the gym anymore. And I'm pretty thrilled with that. So this year is going to be concentrating on what if. What if I work with the system? What if I take all the knowledge from and put the year behind me of, okay, I allowed myself anything and everything, and there were no holes barred on what I ate when I was eating, and still managed to lose at my lowest 75 pounds. What if this year I don't eat those things, those crazy foods, every time I break a fast? But what if I break a fast healthier this year? How much more can I lose? My goal is 150. Today I weigh 222.6. I'm going to ask you to join me on my journey. I'm going to ask you, what if for you? What if you join me? What is your potential? How much can you lose? My goal is 150. I have 2 tips for you. The first, I've been beating myself up and I need to stop. I realized yesterday I went and I got a calendar, And I suggest you do this. Buy a dollar store calendar. Mark your weight down on it and put a star on the days that you're able to make it through fasting. Put your weight down, log your weight at least once a week. That way you know where you are, because I've been beating myself up, hey, I've gained some weight back. And I thought I was going to be heavier going on this cruise than what I was last. And it wasn't until I opened the calendar yesterday and I realized I boarded that plane weighing 251. Today I weigh 222. Stop beating myself up. This is a success, and I need to count it as such and move forward. I need to put the past behind me and go forward. I'm asking you to go with me. Not only what if, but why. What is your why? Why do you want to do this? Is it to be healthier? Is it to ride roller coasters like it was for me? Is it to not have to use a seatbelt extender? Is it that you just want to be healthier, hang out with your family, and be able to join in the social events that you don't want to join in when you're heavier? What is your why? And what if? Please join me on my journey, and if you like this video, please consider subscribing and follow my journey. Reach out to me. I'm on social media. I'm on the Intermittent Fasting for women. I am on a healthier alternative. Find me. I'm out there. I'm posting. I'd love to have you join me in my journey. I'm not here to diagnose. I'm not here to tell you how to do it. I'm here to tell you what mistakes I've made, because my journey has not been perfect. Again, I'm not perfect, but I plan on doing much better in 2020, and I would love for you to join me.